I know you don't want to hear this, but AI is dead. Dead as a doornail. It's dead. It's gone. Stomp it, throw it in the grave, it's gone. Put it, like I tell my wife, when I die, just throw me in the recycling bin and let the wormies take me to feed the future trees in my backyard. It's dead. And I'm going to share with you why. It's inevitable. It cannot exist the way it's going right now. So check this out. So here we got from Scientific American. The AI, this is from October 2023. The AI boom could use a shocking amount of electricity. All right. Powering artificial intelligence models takes a lot of energy. A new analysis demonstrates how big the problem could become. Around the globe, data centers currently account for 1 to 1.5% of the global electricity use. That's from the IEA, the International Energy Agency. Right now, 1 to 1.5% of global electricity use. All right. And the world's still exploding boom in artificial intelligence could drive that number up a lot and fast. Research has been raising alarm about AI's hefty energy requirements over the past few months. But then we got this guy right here as the first to quantify the demand in a peer-reviewed, because peer review is so sacrosanct, but still, we're going to run with it. A continuation of the current trends in AI capacity and adoption are set to lead NVIDIA shipping 1.5 million AI server units per year by 2027. These 1.5 million server units running at full capacity consume 85.4 terawatt hours of electricity annually, more than what many small countries use in a year. I talked about this guy, Alex DeVries, a PhD candidate at whatever that university is in Amsterdam. No one cares what Amsterdam. Everything's USA or baby, but USA or baby, USA or baby, USA or bust there, Alex DeVries. But he sounded the alarm on the enormous energy costs of crypto mining, oh my goodness, and transactions. Now he turns attention to the latest tech fad, AI. Because AI is energy intensive, I highlighted that if you were to fully turn Google search engine into something like ChatGPT and everyone used it that way, the energy use of Google would spike. Google would need just as much power as Ireland just to run its search engine. Now, it's not going to happen like that because Google would have to invest $100 billion in hardware to make that possible. And even if the company had that money to invest, the supply chain couldn't deliver all those servers. But I think it's useful to illustrate that you're going to be using generative AI in applications that the potential make every online interaction much more resource heavy. They ask, what are some of the other variables to consider when thinking about AI energy use? Cooling is not even included in his article, but if there were any data to go on, it would have been. A big unknown is where those servers are going to end up, and that matters a lot because if they're at Google, then the additional cooling energy used to be somewhere in the range of 10% increase. But global data centers on average will add 50% to the energy cost just to keep the machines cool. I was talking to this guy yesterday, and he's a software guy, and he's telling me, he said, you don't understand. I mean, basically right now, it's very interesting how the different voltages, you get from the down your to make your energy, your electricity in your house, you downgrade not downgrade, what's the word? You lower the voltage, all right? So it comes in 120. We can't have 120 powering this right here, 120 volts. It's got to be converted or downgrade. It's not down, whatever it is, downshifted. And we've taken basically 12 volts, 1.5 volts, all this stuff. It's incredibly interesting. And so it's got these multi phases where some parts of the computer have 1 volt, some parts have 4 volts because it's all based on total watts. It's incredibly interesting. Anyway, the point being is this stuff isn't 100% efficient. They're trying to make it 95% efficient, but even at 90% efficient, that means that 10% inefficiency, what is that? That's being released as heat. And if you have 10% inefficiency being released as heat into your server farm, that's just going to blow everything to smithereens. It's too hot. That's why you have to have this massive amount of cooling, because you can't have it. Even at 95% efficiency still has a 5% inefficient. That's released as heat. That's what happens to electricity. And that goes someplace. It's going to make the server farms go that much more hot. And so you got to cool it. And of course, the cost of cooling it on top of the cost to run it, it's insane. All right, check this out. I want to show you guys something. Two state Dems throw a wrench and plan to extend life of zero-emission power plant. The Democrats in California opposed a loan that would extend the lifespan of the state's last remaining nuclear power plant. They voted to cancel a $400 million loan proposed by the Democrat Governor Gruesome, that would help keep the state's Diablo Canyon nuclear facility open until 2030. 5 years longer than its current expiry date. So it's going to expire in 2025. They're going to lose all of that electricity generation right there because because the Democrats, the Greens, they hate human progress. So how are they going to replace that electricity demand? How? And by the way, Democrats don't like hydro either. They're trying to shut down hydro plants as well. How are you going to replace it? Oh, you're going to replace it with wind, are you? So here's my man Tony Heller. Wind is producing 7% of UK electricity right now. So the demand is 31.48 gigawatts, and wind is producing 2.2 gigawatts right now. It's producing 7%. And Tony goes on to say they're destroying their countryside as a sacrifice to false gods. Right now, 1 o'clock in GMT, whatever that means, in England time, it's delivering that's right now. All right, so I'm at 9:25 my time. That's 1 o'clock their time. In the middle of the afternoon, is delivering 2% of the gigawatts that the demand is. 10-minute averages at this point right here, they got 26.9% of the demand met by the wind. But then look at this. It's freaking crazy. Last month averages. I mean, see how this works? There's a little bit, there's none. A little bit, there's none. It's not even getting. You got 50% right there. Wow, but then there's none. You need to have a reliable grid to back it up. Even here, last year, not even close. It's insane. For Great Britain, right here, demand 30.67 gigawatts, of which 10 of those gigawatts are coming from renewables, and we're going to show you what the renewables are too, because it's not just wind and solar. I'm going to show you how insane this is. Carbon neutral is giving us 13. Carbon neutral, what does exactly that mean? All right, so let's look at this. Biomass is giving them 7% of the demand. And biomass is not, it's just, they're literally, as I said a million times a Sunday, they're importing trees that are cut down from virgin forest in North Carolina and whatnot, and they're sending them via diesel engine to the UK to have green energy. The whole thing's just so stupid. It's just such a clown show. Here, solar right now is generating 20%. Solar right now is 1 o'clock in England, dude. It's generating 20%. It's peak for that time. Wind is generating 8. Nuclear is generating 15. This right here is our fossil fuels, and then coal is coal's not generating. Oh, then they're importing. I imagine these are imports from France, most likely nuclear. So this is just today. Where is it going to come from, man? Where is it going to come from? You're going to increase. Never mind that. That's just AI. I was reading this guy yesterday, Robert Bryce, a couple of days ago, who wrote the Energy Power Hungry, the book Power Hungry. He said, under his calculations, AI will have to demand 40% of the electric grid in 2030. 40%. That's not even including crypto mining. That's not even including mass adoption of electric vehicles, mass adoption of heat pumps. And then on top of that, getting rid of things like nuclear. This whole thing is insane. So it cannot, if it can't go on, it won't. At some point, it's going to fall, and you're seeing it right now. I'm just telling you, it's inevitable. Something has got to give. Something's going to give, and I don't know what it is, but it's dead. All right, love your thoughts. God bless.